happened. That social ecological approach is more talking about the family and about systems levels when we work with kids. And when they're in the home with you guys, you are the family. You will be participating in their treatment, whether it's group or individual, on some level, because you are part of that. If Betsy's working on him on a self-regulation skill, but he walks out into the unit and you guys don't know that self-regulation skill and how to work with them, it's not going to work. I have lots of the staff do motion or movement therapy with the kids, or they do deep breathing exercise. What I say to is do it with them. Show them how to do it, practice it. For the minimum, it helps you too. It's not just good for them, it's good for you too, because it's a stressful environment. So if you can I want you to do that movement work with them and teach them too. Because it ties into this being supportive, also that self-regulation, that again, and obviously the trauma-informed. Strengths-based, I know, again, this is one of those things, no one says, oh, we're not strengths-based at our agency. I know everybody says that, they're strengths-based. What I mean by that is, one of the subtle things I'll do with kids is I'll ask them scaling questions. And I'll say, you know, he'll be like, I don't want to deal with this right now. And I'll say, okay, on a scale of 1 to 5, how ready are you to do this? And they may say a 3. And our natural response is, okay, if you're a 3, what's it going to take you to be a 4? But what I say to them is, if you're a 3, why aren't you a 1? Because something got you from a 1 to a 3, and then it focuses on what they do well and what they do right and the things that help them get to that point. Can I reproduce that now to get them to a 4 or to a 5? If we say, why aren't you at a 5, that's almost saying, what's wrong with you? What's your problem? Why aren't you doing it? So it's a little subtle thing that you can do to be strengths-based that they may pick up on and help them with. It also helps you because it gives you skills that they may have, and you might not get it out of them unless you use kind of a sort of a trick question to get them to talk about it. So again, we individualize all our treatment approaches. We have a treatment program, but we make it specific for that kid's needs and what's going on it. We use a lot of sensory and skill-based stuff because you're going to learn our kids don't have great skills, and what skills they do have, they're usually one-trick ponies. If they have one skill, they just use it over and over again and try to apply it to everything. So we're trying to help them with that. Family work we talked about. I'll talk more about good lives models. Probably something to talk more on the unit, but it's an approach that came out of the adult system that actually I think is really good. And they really focus on, it's the kind of anti-relapse prevention. It doesn't talk about what not to do. It talks about developing lives that are good for these kids and developing lives that have meaning for these kids. Instead of, one of my pet peeves is, do not try to hold a kid accountable. You cannot hold anybody accountable. If you've had children, you'll know this. But the joke is you cannot hold anybody accountable. You can invite them, you can support them, you can encourage them to be accountable. And that's the goal. That's what I want you to do with them. I want that to come from inside, not from you. Because if I'm going to be accountable because you told me to be accountable, that's not owning, that's renting. I want them to own it. I want them to be accountable because when you're accountable, it pays off for you and it helps you.